And I'm going to put the podcast, or I'm going to put you in the screen above so I actually look towards your face when I'm talking to you. Okay. Hi guys, welcome to the That's Where I'm At podcast. I'm Laura, and I'm here with a friend today who's going to tell us about her life. She's a Las Vegas native, twice divorced. She's a marketing coordinator at a strip casino. She is a Cowboys fan, so don't hold that against her, whatever. No, I don't care. I don't really care about football. Sorry, I was just being funny. And she's a Golden Knights fan. Of course she is. Because we're from Las Vegas. She's a fur mom to one dog and 3 cats. Welcome to the show, my friend Becky.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. So, lots of things to talk about, but Becky and I were thinking today we would talk about kind of her journey in her life from, well, we'll just the general thing from divorce. So we'll kind of, just kind of the general thing from that and how we got to that place, right? How we got there.
Oh joy.
Oh joy. So let's just jump right in because there's no good way to start this. Wherever you want to start, we always think about like the people we marry. So that kind of comes from either something we know or we saw in our life. So, let kind of start from there, I guess. Even if you want to start with your first marriage, you said you were twice divorced. So if you want to, you can.
Yeah. And I was just like I was just telling you earlier, I was just
Yeah.
thinking about how, you know, when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
I had envisioned myself uh, married with children. I wasn't really career oriented. And it's
Uh-huh.
just funny to think about, now here I am at 56, no kids, no husband. But I have my fur babies, and that's great and
That's
everything.
right.
But
That's right.
it's funny to think about that. What you hope and dream for as a younger person, it's
Yeah.
not necessarily what you're going to end up with, and it's just you have to try to figure out how to manage your hopes and expectations as you get older when things don't turn out the way you plan.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
so yeah, 2 divorces. Yeah, it is what it is.
That's right. It is. These are not things we plan for. It is what it is. It's where
and
life took us.
exactly. Marriage number one. I met him. This was in 1998. We met at a bar. Boomerangs. I don't know if you know boomerangs.
In Las
Um,
Vegas.
yes, we actually
Okay.
were trying to set up one of our other friends with him who was depressed at the time, but
Oh,
he for some reason took a fancy to me.
oh, wow.
So yeah, we ended up dating for, I think we dated for 2 years. We got married. I think we were ended up being married for about 5.5 years. He was a really good guy.
Yeah.
He just had some issues, went through a little bit of a midlife crisis.
And so just things weren't
Just
vibing.
yeah, he and I are still pretty good friends, so I don't really want to get
No, of course.
too
No. You
into
don't have to,
it.
yeah, you don't have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I just
it
think
just
it's
didn't work
interesting
out.
to like that. Did you see him as a type of person that you would have chosen for your life? Was he someone that you were like,
At
yeah,
the
this is
time,
my, yeah,
yeah, at the time, yeah, we had a lot in common. We had a really good time together. He was a good guy. He just circumstances and
right,
he had some weaknesses like people
right,
do.
right,
He had a gambling problem, and this is not the town for it, obviously. And
right. Seriously.
so yeah, it didn't work out.
So
Didn't work out.
that didn't help with your relationship. That's not, yeah,
No, no,
that wasn't
no,
something. Yeah.
no. And unfortunately, there was some infidelity, and that
Okay.
was just a no-go for me. So we ended it. I ended it, and I was very hurt, and I did not speak to him for a long time.
And how did you cope? Did you feel like you had friends around you that you could talk to, or did you feel kind of embarrassed by that? I kind of ran the gamut of every emotion.
You know, for that one, not so much. As far as embarrassment.
Okay.
Yeah, it was more hurt and disappointment, but not embarrassment.
Okay. Well, that's
Um,
good.
yeah, and I was a lot younger. Um,
Right.
so I don't know if maybe that had anything to play with it.
Right.
But it wasn't as, I don't want to say as bad,
Right. I know what you
but
mean.
you
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yes. You were
But
able to cope better with that one, or
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know
Right.
why, but yes.
Okay.
Yes, and we'll maybe delve into that a little bit more in a
Okay.
bit here.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but I will say I kind of stayed angry at him for a long time,
Okay. Yeah.
and I did come to a point where I decided just mentally that for my own sanity, I had to forgive him and let
Yes.
it go.
Yes. Yes.
And I did. I reached out to him, and that's when we became friends again. And it's
Mm.
been lovely ever since.
Oh, well, that's great. Well, hey, that is great to hear that you were
Yes.
able to do that. Well,
Yes.
yeah, and I've talked on multiple episodes about forgiveness because it's not for them, it's for us because we'll
Yes.
drive ourselves insane forever. And we do not have to forget what they did. We don't have to let them back
No.
in. We don't have to do any of those things. But for us to not, because it's like they say, drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. And that's not going to
Right.
happen that way. We're drinking the
Right.
poison, so I don't think forgiveness is easy, but if you think about it in the regard of it's not forgetting what they did and it's not saying what they did was okay.
Right.
But that's a hard concept
Yeah.
to think about. That's
Yeah.
definitely one. Yeah, and it's a process. It's not just one day because yeah, I'm still in process of that one. I choose to forgive every day,
Yeah.
even though I don't want to. I'm like
Yeah.
I can't move forward in bitterness, so I'm
Yeah.
choosing to forgive. So
Yeah.
how did you feel after having that divorce? Were you hesitant when you went out with friends, or were you looking to date again, or just in general, how were you feeling about that?
And you know what? And I did forget to mention,
Yeah.
I will have to say with him, I should mention with him that maybe also with him too is we did go through, I did try to have children with him.
Oh,
We
right. I
did go
remember that.
through we
Yes.
did go through fertility treatments,
Yes.
and I did actually get pregnant and miscarry. So
That's a lot of
there were a
stress.
lot of feelings, tied to him.
Of
Um,
course. Yes. And that's a
yeah,
lot of stress too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I had forgotten about that.
Yeah.
So
It's a different experience for sure.
yes, yeah.
You
So
know.
we did share a lot together in the time that we were together.
Yeah, and that's the hard part with, somebody got pregnant with. That's really hard to
Right,
like be like, I don't want to talk to him ever again. That's hard.
right,
That's
right,
a
yeah,
hard concept.
right.
So moving forward, how were you coping or how did you feel?
Uh, that one I relied. I think with him I relied mostly on friends.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's been so long.
Yes.
That was back in gosh, I divorced him in 2004.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that I probably relied on
You're like,
friends.
sure, hindsight is 2020. I was amazing through the whole thing. We don't know. We can't remember.
I'm sure I was.
It's been
I'm
19
sure I
years.
was.
We don't know. Gosh, when you say it that way, doesn't that sound like forever ago? 19 years, jeez.
Yeah. I will say I know that I was single for a long
Oh,
time.
you were. Okay.
I did not uh dip my foot into the dating pool for a long time.
Okay. Were you
Uh
just worried that whatever, something was going to happen?
I didn't have any interest.
Yeah.
I don't think, and I want to say back then, really the dating sites and stuff weren't really
No.
popular yet. I want to say I started getting into the online dating and stuff maybe around 2016.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, 2004, I mean, if you think about that, it's probably just online stuff, right?
right,
Not apps. We didn't have, iPhones, or we didn't have phones. We didn't have that kind of thing happening. So it wasn't that kind of thing. Yeah,
right,
so right. And so that's something you have to consider, like, where do I want to put myself out there again? Do I want to go to the
right,
bar and find another guy? That kind of thing. Because where else was
right.
there to go, really? I guess unless your friends set you up or something.
Yeah, right.
Ugh,
So,
yeah. All right, so you didn't dip your foot in for a long time.
yeah, I didn't dip my foot in. Then I believe I started online dating. I dated somebody for about 4 years. That really didn't go anywhere.
Mhm.
Broke up with him, and then I met ex number two.
The
Dun
infamous
dun
ex.
dun.
The villain enters. No, just kidding. He has made us our exes have made us into who we are today.
He who shall not be named. Uh,
Yes, exactly. No, we're not naming any names. They know who they are.
no, no.
Okay, and how was that? How did that go?
Oh,
I
that was
remember
great.
you were yeah, I was gonna say I remember you were very happy. It was great.
I I thought I had hit the lotto with this
We
one.
thought you had hit the lotto.
I know, I know. We led the perfect life online.
Of
Um,
course, it's always
yes,
perfect online.
yes, boy. Yeah, no, so I met him on Plenty of Fish, and he just seemed, and what as I was kind of writing notes and stuff,
Yeah.
trying to just recall things. I wish I had known the term narcissist back then,
Okay, right.
because he is a classic narcissist. I
Okay.
was totally love bombed.
Okay, so then these were kind of the signs that you missed because maybe you didn't even know because
Yes.
I'm there, I get it because our former selves didn't know what
No,
what any of these things were. And
no,
so we didn't know what was going on
no.
until we knew what was going on. Okay, so he's love bombing you
I'm
and
embarrassed
and
to
you're
tell
the
you this. He
no.
told me that he loved me, I think, not even 2 weeks of us dating.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Been
yeah,
there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Okay.
yeah,
Got it. I just, okay. I just like, one
yeah,
of my friends was sharing earlier and I was like, yeah, I go,
yeah.
same. wi-
Guilty.
I had to, I had to laugh because what she always says is same story, different characters. And
Yeah,
it's like, anyway, I'm sorry, but it's
yeah,
true. Sometimes it's true. And okay, well, don't be embarrassed by that because it happens. I mean,
yeah,
we all
yeah,
go through it. And look, this is what I've learned. We don't know what we didn't, we don't know. And so we can't beat ourselves up about not knowing because it's not like you were ignoring the signs you didn't know that they were happening, those
yeah.
kinds of things until you did. So,
Right.
okay. So things were great and
Yeah,
everything was great.
yeah. And well, I think you remember the story. The situation itself with him was complicated. There were
Well, right. And so you can tell whatever you want of that, but you can just say it was
yeah, I
complicated,
don't even think I'll get into
No,
that,
yeah, I
but
was gonna
it's
say. So yeah.
yeah, but but yeah, he totally swept me off my feet.
Yeah.
But we had a lot in common. And we had a lot of fun together. We liked the same music. We went to concerts all the time.
Yeah.
We were really good friends. I will
Right.
say, I
Yeah.
mean, he had me fooled. He's a good guy. He's a narcissist.
Right.
But we were pretty much we were engaged by a year together, and so I got married him, obviously. But there were definitely signs that I ignored.
Oh, you did.
As I
Okay.
was thinking about this, I
Okay.
definitely ignored. I
So
remember,
let's talk about some of those so that in case someone says, "Oh, because I think it's beneficial. I never heard anything about narcissism or any of these things until I did. this last year. And then I was like, oh, that's what's happening to me. And so I think it's important to know. So what kinds of signs did you feel were red flags?
So he moved in with me fairly quickly, and he was very, very protective of his
Okay.
phone and iPad.
Oh, okay.
So I was never like, if I would like, he never like let me look at it,
Right.
or
Right. You couldn't
uh
just pick it up and
right,
right.
right. There was no sharing or anything like that. I was very protective of that.
Okay.
He was always messaging people, and by people I mean women.
Oh,
But they were always friends, because he is a drummer.
okay.
So, but it was always had to do with band, or his band stuff, or
Okay.
just friends from high school or whatever. There was always
A
reasons or
reason.
excuses.
So,
Um,
so when he gave you his reasons or excuses, you felt like I can trust him. He's not doing anything. It is for his work or whatever. You were
yeah,
feeling that
I
way.
chose to,
Yes.
yeah,
Me too.
but I ignored that little.
Yep. Your little that Jiminy Cricket back there.
Yes, 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 yeah.
Mhm.
I chose to ignore it. Yeah.
I understand.
Um, yeah,
I feel for
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Okay, and so
So
you
yeah,
guys are
we ended up
sharing.
getting married,
Okay.
and
It was a fun wedding. I enjoyed it.
I will say, it was
It was a great
a
wedding.
hell of a wedding. Hell of
It
a
was a
wedding.
great wedding, I have to say.
Yes.
It was.
Yes. So
I give it 10 out of 10.
for just to let everybody know, we got married on Friday the 13th in October. It was a Hallow wedding.
It was.
We had a jeans is
Was
that
it
right?
Gene Simmons?
Gene Simmons impersonator marry us.
Yes.
And we had everybody dressed either in all black or in goth attire.
It was really
And
cool. It was
it
so
was
fun.
amazing. It was
Just the
amazing.
decorations. You guys had black candelabras and everything. It was just
Yeah.
amazing. It was the
Yeah.
coolest looking. Wasn't scary, but it was that type of it was a Halloween wedding. It was just so
Yeah.
cool. Anyway, so that
Yeah.
was good. We're looking
Yeah.
on the bright side.
We're looking on the bright side. Had a great wedding, horrible marriage. And
There you go.
it wasn't all bad, but
No, no. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So that was good. Yeah,
So
so that was
yeah,
fun.
yeah. So flash forward not quite 3 years.
Mhm.
So it was New Year's Eve, so 2019 going into 2020. He had a gig, a New Year's Eve gig that was going to be out of state, that I was not able to attend, due to work. He was going to be gone for 5 days. And so when he got back, I had noticed that he was acting a little different.
Oh. Oh,
Yes. And
jeez.
so I'm like, what's going on? And finally I get the dreaded,
Yeah.
I am no longer, I love you, but I am no longer in love with you.
God, it's so
I'm
stupid.
like, I'm sorry. We haven't even been married 3 years. I'm sorry. What
What's
does that
happening?
mean?
What's
What's
happening now?
what?
Oh, gosh. I'm so glad
we're,
we can laugh
we're
about
supposed to be in
this.
our honeymoon phase still. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
seriously. God, what a shocker. My gosh.
I I I felt like I had been punched in the face when he said that. Can you imagine
Yeah,
somebody saying that to you?
that's terrible.
Yeah, it was devastating.
So
Yeah.
did he admit to anything, any
He no,
wrongdoing or
he did
anything?
not.
Okay.
He said it was, there was nobody, there's nobody else. It's
Right.
him.
Okay.
He doesn't know what's wrong with him, blah blah blah.
Okay.
So yeah, so it took probably a good month before he admitted that there was somebody else involved, and that was after I had found the phone bill.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you had to drag it out of him. Get it?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness. And so when that happened, okay, so did he leave right away or whatever?
No.
Or oh,
No.
okay.
So and the only reason that happened was, February. I had well, no, I shouldn't say that. I mean, financial reasons, but also beginning of February, I had a um, shoulder surgery scheduled. I had a
Okay.
rotator cuff, and I needed somebody to
Yeah.
help take care
Take
of
care of
me.
you. Yeah.
And talk about a miserable experience.
Right.
That was miserable.
The person who doesn't
Neither
like
one of
you.
us wanted to be here in this house during that time,
I'm
but
sure.
whatever.
Wait, so
So
this is 2020, so we're
this
heading
is
into
2020,
so we're
and
heading into the
then COVID,
pandemic.
then COVID, and we're stuck here together.
Congratulations. You
Yes.
win the prize. Yeah. That's oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But he did move out middle of March. And he moved to California to be with this woman. So
Oh, okay. And so this was did he finally admit that there was somebody else at some point? What's wrong?
but can you hear the doorbell ring and my dogs?
Yes, I can.
So sorry.
That's okay. We'll pause it. I'll pause it. It's not a big deal. Actually, we'll
I
just
never get
you need to you can go ahead and yeah, you can go ahead and stop them and stuff. We can pause this part. We're going to cut this whole part out where the dogs are barking.
okay, so sorry.
Don't worry about it. It's cuttable.
Awesome, thank you.
We're going to cut this whole section out. I'm just waiting for her to come back. She's taking care of people at the door. Okay, you have to unmute it. I think I muted you. So you have to unmute it. Are you frozen? Oh, there you are. You were frozen. It's still muted.
Oh.
So oh, wait, I can hear you, but it says you're muted. That's weird.
Huh. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can now. I can. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. It's gonna be like a clack. That way I know where to start us back up. Um. Okay. So now. Oh. Okay. So then I was asking. So had he admitted that he was with somebody before he decided to move out, or that he said, "I'm going to move out," and because there is somebody?
No, he did admit. And during this time that he was living with me, he became a completely different person.
Oh.
And he was actually quite cruel. And he gave zero shits about the way he treated me while he was here.
Okay.
It was, I, it was bad. It
Yeah.
was,
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's no fun.
it was probably one of the lowest points of my life, to be
Yeah.
honest.
That's that's really hard.
Yeah.
Along the way, so some of the things that people might wonder is because somebody did ask me this, like, where along the way do you feel like you abandoned who you were? Did you feel like you did by ignoring some of the signs? You know, I guess you guys weren't together a million years or anything, but that doesn't matter. Do you feel like you were making compromises? Did it bother you that he didn't show you his phone? Things like that, you know?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a tough question. Yeah, I mean, a little bit, but
Yeah.
he was so good at
Yeah.
making me feel like I was so special. And, he was,
I wish you guys have to go to YouTube and see her face.
ugh.
Her face.
Yeah, he was just really
Special.
good. You know what I mean? He was
Yeah,
just
I do
really
know what
good
you
at it.
mean.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you mean. Yeah. And that's the hard part is that they're talking out of both sides of their mouth. And that's the hard part because they're doing things that seem sneaky or whatever. And then they're treating you like you're the queen. And that's also hard, you know? So when did you
Fooled that
feel,
he was such a good person.
oh, shoot, you got you got paused. So now let's go back and do that part again. What was this last part that you just said when I
Oh,
was
he had everybody fooled that he was such a good person.
oh, okay. Yeah. And that's hard. That's for sure. Well, and it's hard because did you feel like, wait, is he a really good person? Am I making a big deal out of things? Or did you see, you know,
You paused for a second there
oh,
too.
I did? Shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you really think he was a good person, or did you see other things and it was hard to tell people like, well, but he's not really, or I don't know. Did you
At
see?
that time, I still thought he was really a good person at that time
Okay.
before all of this went down. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I hope you want to talk about this part about you taking him back because
I do.
this is not uncommon, and I think it's important to talk about it um because I think okay, so you took him back, but you're not together with him anymore. So and I think I notice, even though we've known each other for, insert cough here, 40 years, um, that I see you stronger. I always thought you were pretty strong, but I see you stronger because the second time you had to get rid of him. I don't know why, but do you feel like you were stronger doing it the second time? Because I see it in you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that first
Oh, shoot. It's
time,
paused. Okay, hold on. It paused. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Because the first, I think is
that
where you
first
started.
time I was, I was a wreck. I was a wreck.
Okay.
And,
You were
I
sad he
mean,
was gone and all
yeah,
that.
I
Yeah.
was sad. I mean, I probably hit rock bottom, the lowest I've ever been in my life.
Okay.
And so he was gone probably about a month and a half, and I get an email from him
Oh, geez.
saying that he's made a mistake, that um, he's sorry. I'm the one that he loves, blah, 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 blah. He wants to come back. You know, and so I thought long and hard on it. And, obviously I'm still in love with him. I was terrified of taking care of this house by myself. I had all 6 animals here by myself.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah. So it's a lot to think about.
it was a lot to think about. And I wanted to try to save my marriage, and
Right.
I knew that, people maybe wouldn't understand, but ultimately I felt like it wasn't really anybody else's business and I had to do what I had to do.
Right. And so how did you feel during that time when you decided, you know what, I do want to take him back. These are my reasons, but they're my reasons. Did you feel embarrassed? Actually, I don't think like I didn't know until you posted it. You posted a picture of you guys on Facebook, and my ex and I were like, "What?" So, okay,
Yeah,
a bit listen.
I
I want to know about that because we do things for a certain reason. Like we don't feel like we're safe enough to tell people, or you're too embarrassed to tell people. What were you thinking?
I I don't I wasn't embarrassed.
Okay.
I was I was worried how people were going to take it maybe,
Okay. Okay.
but I figured my real friends would understand.
Right.
Um Maybe they wouldn't like it, but
Right.
they would understand.
Right.
You know, um I didn't let him move back in right away.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah.
I had roommates at the time, and I was not going to kick them out. I had committed to a certain amount of time. So he actually came back and got an apartment for 6 months.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So he ended up, so this was in, I think that was May, beginning of May. So he did not move back into the house until October.
Wow.
So during that time, he was on his best behavior and
And you guys
whatever.
were you guys divorced or you weren't divorced?
No, we had started divorce proceedings, but
Oh,
we
okay.
stopped them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And you just felt
yeah,
he was being genuine.
I yeah, I felt he was being genuine and I was hopeful,
Of
and
course.
and he was saying all the right things, obviously, and so, you know, I
It's okay.
one
What?
of the big mistakes I made during that time was that I let him talk me into, we went down and he traded in his van and got a new truck under both of our names.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so we're dealing with that. But so
Okay.
then Christmas time rolls around and he starts acting funny again.
Oh, geez, Louise. So you're seeing, so
And
now you're seeing the signs and hopefully not ignoring
yeah,
them this time.
right. I start seeing, we had gotten a new home security system, and there's like a dog cam in here. And so
Okay.
when when I'm at work, I can watch on the dog cam.
Oh my goodness.
So I start watching him because he gets home and stuff before me, and I can see that he text conversation or conversations and whatnot. And I see that I start checking the cell phone bill, and I see that he's talking to the girl again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And when I question him on it, he of course turns it on me and accuses me of spying on him.
Right.
And
Right.
it's like, no, sir, we're not going to do this. And so he tells me that and actually he doesn't have the balls to have an actual adult conversation with me. He again emails me and tells me that he's going to move out after Christmas.
He emailed you?
He emailed me. We did not have an actual phone conversation or in-person conversation. He emailed me.
Oh
I
my
said,
gosh.
that's perfect. We're done. So
Yeah,
yeah.
seriously.
Yeah. So he moved out in January and I divorced him in March.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's crazy. Well, oh my gosh. Well, you know what? It's good that you look, it's your reason for taking them back, whatever, because you, of course, and if you're a trusting person, you want to do that. But I'm glad you were able to see the signs again, because that's kind of
Right.
scary, to,
Right.
you don't want that and not ignore them the next time. I think that's one of the things about the benefit we have at dating at this age is we have some life and experience, right? And so we're able to see, though I don't know. I think it's gonna be too hard. My bullshit meter is pretty high. Like it's too
That's
high
a whole, listen, dating is a whole nother show.
now. Yes, it is. It's so crazy. Tell me the kinds of things, some things, some tips for people going through a hard time, a divorce, or if they're feeling down. What kinds of things helped you really to pick back up? And because I do see a difference, that's what we can. I feel like you can take away from that second time is I think there was like a next level Becky out of that. I really did see a difference. There was
Yeah.
you just were a little more confident and you were just like, no, I'm not doing this. Like
Yeah.
I'm worth more than that. So
And it took a while. It
of
took a while.
course, yeah.
Yeah. It took a while. I think the number one, well, I shouldn't list them in order because they were
Okay.
all three were important,
Okay.
but definitely have someone in your life that you can talk to that has no preconceived notions or ideas of your situation, that is,
Okay.
whether it's a therapist or a counselor or
Right.
somebody that's just,
Yes.
you know,
Wellness coach,
right.
something.
Yeah, I had
Yes.
a wellness coach,
Oh,
and
okay.
I have her through work, and we've been talking for many, many, many years. And she was there with me through COVID, and she knows everything. She knows
Okay.
everything about me, and oh my
So
goodness,
she's impartial. So
yes.
that's great. Yes,
And you
because
need that. You
you do
need
need
that.
you do. It's so great to have friends, but you need to have those people that might be educated in a different way, that might see
Yes,
a perspective a different way
yes,
and say, "Yay, that's normal," or "Well, you're kind of taking a turn here. Let's let's
yes,
right the ship."
yes.
What other things
Now,
have
my second thing is friends. You
Yes.
do need friends, but you need trusted friends. And I
Yes.
say trusted friends because not everybody is your friend.
Right.
But you need those friends to get you through those times, to maybe talk you off that ledge. I've had plenty of those moments
Me
where I
too.
needed somebody to say, hey, listen, don't do that. Don't send that text. Don't.
Right. Me too.
But now
Me
whether or
too.
not I listened, that's on me.
Well, this is true because we are human. No, but I know I had a few of you guys that I could say, "Hey, I'm going to send this text," and you guys saying, "Just send it to us. Just send us don't send it to him."
Yeah. Yeah. But you do need those friends, or whether it's, to take you out or just to
Yes,
spend time with, but you do need your friends. Yeah, for sure.
that's really important. Yeah, and I think you're right. Those trusted friends, and the way that I have found trusted friends is being vulnerable, and not just taking, but also giving. So
Yes.
having a two-sided relationship, calling friends, to say, do you want to do something rather than just always waiting for somebody to call you. So I
Right.
thought that was important. What other kinds of things did you feel were helpful to you?
I would say find something to boost your confidence.
Mm,
It's going to maybe push you out of your comfort zone,
yes.
but at the same time, maybe help you reach your goals. For me, that was kickboxing.
Awesome.
Um, Something and that was just totally random.
Really?
I had some girl, I had no idea who she was. She sent me a, a message in my Facebook
Oh,
Messenger, said,
okay.
hey, you want to come in and take a couple of free classes? And I, I looked at it and I'm like, who is this girl? And I was thinking to myself, why not? So I
Right.
went in. I'm like, this is fun, and so I signed up for a year, and I love it.
That's
So,
amazing.
and
You
it's
know,
just made a complete difference in my life.
that's one of the things that one of my therapist had told me. She said, say yes to some new things, some good things. And had you ever tried kickboxing before? Like,
Oh,
yeah, so that's kind of fun to say like, well, why not? Let me try it.
yeah, yeah,
I did a few things where I was like, well, especially being with my ex for so long, I was like, I don't even know if I like that. So let me go try it. And
right.
yeah, you don't have any idea.
Say yes more. That's a good one too. Say yes.
Yes. Yes. One of the things that I had heard was saying yes if people call you and say, do you want to go out, or can I bring you dinner or something like that, because you are grieving. It is a
Yeah,
grieving time. And because you'll have good friends around you that want to take care of you. And
yeah.
for me, I know it's easy to isolate. It's great. It's like I get in bed with my cat, I'm happy. But if somebody, as long as I'm not in my pajamas, if somebody said, you want to go do something, I might say yes.
Yeah.
Those are some helpful things for sure.
Mhm.
So where are you at now? How are you doing? How's your life?
I'm good. I mean, the whole online
Oh,
dating thing,
gosh.
I'm out
Oh,
there doing it.
yeah.
I it's got its
You're,
good and its bad moments, but
that's right.
again, that's another show.
But
Um,
it seems like, you have some skills. We learned some skills along the way. I love that we can laugh about this.
oh
Thank God.
man.
Well, no, I mean, seriously, well, we have to learn from life. I mean, seriously, we got to learn from our experiences.
Right,
I don't want to do this again. I don't want to end up, I don't want to not be trusting, but I don't want to do this again. You
right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okay. So,
No, I mean, you know what? I'm doing good. I I really, really kind of freaked out when I was first alone and had
okay.
the responsibility of the house. But you know what? Everything's good.
Yeah.
I've got it under control.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, life is good.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
so you feel like you're seeing you can take care of things, you can all those
yeah,
things. At this age, I feel like we're at the point where it's like we have this whole life, right? And then if we ever find anyone else, they'll have a whole life and we can bring them together. We're not,
right.
we're not looking for that baby daddy anymore or any of those
No,
things. You know what I mean?
no,
So we got to look for the things that will bring us joy and enhance our life. So,
right.
is there anything you wanted to talk about today that we didn't talk about?
I mean, I don't think so.
I don't think so either, other than BGK. Golden Knights rule.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, and now it'll be on tape on tape forever. That's how old I am, on tape. Well, if the story that Becky told resonated with you, please go to our social media and leave some comments, and I will put some resources. I'll try to put some resources in the comments about narcissism and those kinds of things, about some warning signs, because it is not easy to spot, and it's manipulative, and it's emotional abuse, and so it's not anything anyone should go through. So we'll definitely get some resources in there. And thank you so much, Becky, for trusting me with your story and for sharing all the goodness on the show. But I know that your story is going to resonate with other people, and I'm glad that you're moving forward in a positive way, and I can really see a change with you that
Thank you
way.
so much for having me. It was fun.
It was fun. So we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.